Hello and welcome to Ruckosaurus Rex, the channel where we review and discuss all things dinosaur and other prehistoric animals. How are you guys doing out there? I'm doing well. It's weekend time, so we're getting into it that way. What you got in front? Last go round, I had said I know I have something down the pipe, but I just couldn't remember what it was. And lo and behold, here it is. We have from Haolonggood another theropod. Wow. They're getting their theropod bang on. This is from Haolonggood, the Daspletosaurus. And you see, as always, they've got two different versions. And once again, I won't lie to you guys, I can't remember which version I bought. I'm going to take a guess right now, and I'll be put on blast right here on the video if I'm wrong, if I guessed wrong. But I want to say that I ordered the green version just to match up with my PNSO, which is, of course, you know about PNSO, they're going to lean towards the brown. So I believe I got the green version, but I'm probably wrong, and I got the this guy that you see right up front. But we'll see when I get her open. And nope, I'm not cheating and just saying it for the camera. You'll see as I always do, I show the packaging, and I'll spin the block on the packaging. You see what we got there on the front, the two different colors. It's the same mold for both versions. The only thing different, all the paint apps, and you see the differences right there. You got the Haolonggood logo up there on the left, and you've got Daspletosaurus, Pterosis, Pterosis 1/35 scale down there below. As always, they give you little sketches of or little illustrations of most, if not all, of the models that they've come out with. You can see right there, there's plenty of them. All the way, they Cardontosaurs, Carnivores, Allosaurs, Spinosaurs. It's incredible. You know, they've really diversified. You can see they've got their theropods. They've got 4 different theropods, including the Daspletosaurus, or I should say 5 different, including the Daspletosaurus. They've got a pair of Ankylosaurs, a pair of Stegosaurs. They've got, they'll have to up their game when it comes to the Hadrosaurs, because they only have Ouranosaurus there. And they've got 3 different species of Ceratopsian. Then when you spin to the other side there you go. You've got that again, and like I said, you can see, I don't know what I got. On this side, by the way, it has the name. It's been a long time coming that I've got a name actually showing on the box. I can't recall if Haolonggood was showing the names before. I know PNSO, I've gotten a couple that were directly from China that had no English on the box at all. So, but this reads, you see a Daspletosaurus Pterosis. And that's what you got going on. Like I said, it's the same thing on both sides. And ta-da, there it is. I did order the green one. I'm glad I did. And for the reasons that I did was because I wanted to contrast between this and the PNSO version. And you know something? It actually worked out even better. There's a faction of scientists that they believe that female tyrannosaurs were larger than their male counterparts. And that may very well have been. It makes sense why a lot of them think that way, because the larger female would be better equipped to defend her young, because these fools were, you know, down to eat anything, I'm quite sure. And we know that Tyrannosaurus Rex were definitely prone to fighting one another. There's a lot of snout biting. They've got evidence of that. A lot of snouts have tooth marks in them, and I think some skulls have actually been recovered with teeth still in the skull. But I'm of the camp, I still go with the males are a bit larger, and I already know how long this model is. I'm still going to take a measurement so you guys can see for yourselves, but I dare say this is going to be larger than the PNSO version, and it is green, so it's more colorful, and males are usually more colorful than their female counterparts, so that actually works out well for me. But as you can see, speaking of the coloration, you can see what we got going on there. You can see the skull, and by the way, this particular model, this Daspletosaurus, is it has lips. So one thing we're going to do is compare this model with the PNSO version, which is lipless, and we'll see the differences, and we'll actually now be able to see what do we actually prefer. A lot of us have the opinions of what we prefer just in our heads, but we're going to actually get to see both up close, and then we can make that determination. We can either stick to our guns and be like, yeah, I still prefer lips or lipless, or looking at them both next to one another, we may actually change our minds, but we'll see. And now, as promised, that measurement, like I said, I already knew because beforehand I had already seen how long it's officially listed, but for the sake of you guys, we're going to do this. And yeah, it's about just a little bit, a tick over 11.5 inches, which coincides with what I read, which was 11.6. So that's about right. And when you do your calculations, Daspletosaurus was estimated to grow to about 30 feet long. The estimates, if you were to do the calculations for this 11.5 inch model, would actually put this beast, this represents a nearly 34-foot long animal. So definitely this model is oversized, comes out to about 33.8 something inches, so closer to 34. So definitely oversized, and I'm quite sure it's going to be larger than the PNSO version, which I have not compared yet. Doing all this real time with you guys so we can all have discovery together. Anyhow, yeah, so that's the length. And now close up, you get a look, profile view of that skull. You can see it's got the lips. Haolonggood has, they did apply some light colored, like off-white lines on the above the lips and below the lips on the jawline, so you can see there. But you can see it's got lips, and it already looks different than the PNSO version, as we've recently reviewed that just a few weeks ago. It's just a few videos back. As always, let's get the bino vision out the way. Oh, that was me knocking over my lighting. But yep, you could see the Tyranno bino vision is present, along with that. You look at the crest above. It's got some nice, like orange, like rustic brown highlights on that crest, which is cool. Turning back around profile, we're looking at the eyes are like a very light blue. I don't know if that translates in the camera, but I'm looking at it. It's a very light blue with black pupils. So you've got that. You see there on the bottom jaw, it's got a light coloration there, spots, bringing out the scales. So you got that, and yeah, it looks pretty nice. It's got an articulated jaw. So we open that up. Opens pretty wide. That's nice. Okay, now that we're back in focus, you can see in the mouth, it's got the nasal passageways sculpted in, pretty nice. Teeth looking very nice. Very nice looking head sculpt. Then as far as the rest, it's got green base is the paint job, and you see the pattern there. I'm loving that pattern. I am loving that pattern that they gave it. And there are the forelimbs, the claws painted black. Look at the go down the torso. You've got the wrinkles, and then the left leg is stepping forward, and you've got the stretching skin right there in the back of the thigh. Going down, you've got some nice scoot work there, and then of course the toes painted black, the claws on the toes. Pretty nice there. Continuing on with the tail, that pattern continues, and it changes color when you get towards the end of the tail to that brownish, that reddish brown color, and you still have the striping. And the very tip of the tail has got that striping. And then, of course, the other side there, grab the tail and bring it towards me. That right hind limb stepping off. You see the foot is raising up, and you've got wrinkles right there at where the knees meet. The knee meets the calf. Pretty nice. Stretching skin right there. Look at the underside. It's pretty light. There is evidence of a cloaca right up in there. And then we are off to the other side. And now, as promised, the comparison between the Haolonggood and the PNSO Daspletosaurus. You can probably see from this angle already that the Haolonggood is considerably larger than the PNSO version. The PNSO version is more to scale. Comes out to, I believe, maybe 28, 29 feet. If you measured it out, I think it came out to about 10 inches, maybe 10 and a half inches long. I didn't measure it this go round because I did so in the previous video. And there's no need, because I can clearly see the size differences right away. I'll take them out and let you try to see in terms of profile. Get our Haolonggood there, and then the PNSO. Make sure that I'm going to call her she wants to stand up. It's definitely taller. If you look at them this way, I've got to get my hands in a better position here for you to see. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. Dino's Dragons does this so well. Shout out to him. And move it back there so you can see right there that our Haolonggood, which is on the bottom in green, is longer and a little bit thicker than the PNSO version. So that's what we got there. Set them back up so you can get one last look at them next to one another. Of course, the PNSO version is totally blanking out the face of our Haolonggood, but that's okay, because speaking of faces, here's a look at both faces close up, and here's that lip versus lipless comparison I was speaking of. There you have on the left side, we've got the PNSO Daspletosaurus, lipless, teeth hanging all out the mouth, and of course on the right side we've got the Haolonggood with the lips. And you guys have heard me state before that I was cool either way, but now that I've got two of the same species, very recent models, recent releases, I'm going to go ahead and say that I am in favor of the lip look. I'm going to go ahead and say that. Yep, there it is. I've now leaned, I was on the fence all this time, I've leaned over to the side of the lips. What side do you guys lean now that you actually can see for yourselves, lipless versus lipped? Comments below, you know what time it is. And because with the PNSO Daspletosaurus, I spent so much time comparing it against all the other tyrannosaurs that were just pouring out during that time, that I didn't get a chance to show it next to a prey animal, which would be the Centrosaurus. This is Jenny from PNSO. We don't have a Centrosaurus for Haolonggood, even though we've got three different ceratopsians, but no Centrosaurus. This right here is a very likely confrontation that took place. Now for some comparisons with some recent Haolonggood offerings. Here's that 1/35th scale Ampelosaurus that I admittedly was fawning all over. Next up, we have the Haolonggood Allosaurus, and this is an example of how Haolonggood, as great as they are with their accuracy and the beautiful paint apps, and of course the pricing, this shows that they too are guilty of being all over the place with their scale. This Allosaurus is a 1/35th scale model, and you see how much smaller it is compared to the Daspletosaurus. Keep in mind that Allosaurus on the low end was estimated to be about 28 feet, and on the high end, some people have, I mean, they've been way overestimated. It's been estimated up to and closing in on 40, but on average, about 32 to 35 feet. So at minimum, these two should have been around the same size. Of course, the Daspletosaurus is oversized, so it should be a little bit smaller, but the Allosaurus should be a little bit larger. And finally, we have Carnotaurus, whom I reviewed most recently from Haolonggood. And this is an example of lipped versus lipless, Haolonggood style. But they gave good reason why their Carnotaurus couldn't be made with lips. And it actually made sense. Here's a close-up so you can see what I'm talking about. Look at the how the teeth are just hanging out of the Carno's mouth. And here's a look at what an oversized Daspletosaurus would look like compared to a human being. And so my final thoughts on the Haolonggood Daspletosaurus. Very, very nice model. It's a little oversized, but still very nice. It's won me over with the lipped look. So you got that. The coloration is beautiful with the greens and the pattern that is adorning the entire model. Excellent, very excellent figure, model. I like to make the distinctions. These are models. The coloration of the skull with the crests of that orange-like hue for the crests above the eyes, or the horns, whatever you want to call them, is very, very nice. And yeah, it's a great model. It, like I said, it is oversized if you have the PNSO, especially if you got this color version to go along with the PNSO version. You could have a male and female if you believe that males are larger than the females, and if you believe that males are more colorful than the females. Of course, you go the other way around and just deal with them both being like brownish kind of colors. But whatever you want to do, you can do with them. So very nice figure. Another theropod from Haolonggood. That's 3 in recent times. They still seem to specialize in herbivores, which I'm happy as long as PNSO is going to keep pumping out theropods. We have to get some type of balance, and Haolonggood usually provides that, but every once in a while they let us know that they can do theropods and do them well. And what I mean by well, looking at that skull and the lips, like I said, I was on the fence, didn't really matter one way or the other, but now I'm on the side of the lipped angels. So let me know down below what side you guys are on. So please like the video, share, and if you haven't done so, subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification if you want to be notified. Hit that bell, and you shall be notified when I upload another video. So yeah, that's the Haolonggood Daspletosaurus, guys. And it's been good. It's been nice. Thanks for rocking with me. Take care.